Hello everybody, welcome to Elite Weather. I'm meteorologist Mr. G with you guys on your Monday afternoon. Thank you for joining me today as we have a lovely day out there. Very warm temperatures. Temperatures have reached the lower to middle 60s across the Twin Cities here in mid-central Minnesota. So we've seen a significant warming trend. We were in the upper 40s yesterday. We hit those 60s today. Now that will last just for one day. But then we will see rain move into the area tomorrow. And those highs will slide back down into the lower 50s. And we're going to see those 50s again on we're going to see a even further drop on Wednesday as we drop down into the 30s for one day, a one-day cold snap, and then we're going to be back into the 50s on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 60s again. Then over the weekend on Sunday, we're going to see those highs soar back into the 60s for a few days, so we might get more than just one day with those potential highs in the 60s here across the upper Midwest as the unusual, abnormally warm, and excessively dry winter continues across the West. Let's jump into our maps, slide down, and talk about what we're going to be seeing out there as I don't have a working clicker. So let me get my clicker to work here, and my clicker is not working. It was just working a minute ago. I tested it and it worked. But now my clicker's not working. So we don't have a clicker. Hello everybody, welcome to Elite Weather. I'm meteorologist Mr. G, back with you once again on your Monday afternoon. It's about 4 o'clock in your afternoon, so thank you for joining me today. If you are watching this video on TikTok or YouTube, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube, hit that follow button on TikTok, leave a comment or hit the happy face. Leave a like, do what you gotta do. But I'm gonna be here with you with that weather forecast. So we're gonna jump into our first map as we deal with a significant storm that's going to be moving across the country. So right now we're looking at a nice warming trend out here across the east and the nation's midsection as we have those temperatures here in the 60s across the upper Midwest. We are looking at a high today across the Twin Cities so far of 63 degrees. So it's a very nice day out there. So we're looking at very warm temperatures. A few areas of rain here across the east. We got one area, a little bit of rain out here across the mid-Atlantic states over Virginia. And we have a little bit of rain and snow up there in New England and parts of Nova Scotia as well. So a little bit of weather for those areas. But those areas are moving out. But here across the mountains here over the nation's the Intermountain West here in the Rockies, we got a lot of snow across the northern Rockies and the high plains of Montana. We're looking at some snow over that region. Then we have some snow down through parts of Utah, Colorado, and into parts of Nevada and Oregon and Washington. We're looking at some snow showers over there and along the Cascade Mountain Range. A little bit of snow there in the Sierra Nevada. And we got some rain down here over Southern California as well, just offshore. A batch of rain showers is going to be bringing some rain into the area. About a 40% chance of rain across Southern California this afternoon, okay? In our next map, we're going to look at those temperatures. Very warm day out there across the country. We can't complain about this. I can't complain about this. Look at these 80s down across Texas. Temperatures in the mid-80s. Look at those 90s. Is that a 92? If I see a 92 in Dallas, goddamn, that's a 92 in Dallas. A very nice warm-up today. We got temperatures in the upper 70s all the way into the upper Midwest in Iowa. Des Moines had a high so far 77 degrees. We got 80 degrees there over Omaha. We are looking at temperatures in the 70s as far north as Chicago. Chicago is 70 degrees today. I'm floored. I'm beside myself right now with this weather that we're seeing here. The Super El Nino continues, and it continues to enhance our weather and influence our weather in a very big way. Trust me, a lot of these places are 20, 30 degrees above average for this time of the year. For example, Des Moines should only be in the upper 40s. It should not be 80 degrees in Des Moines when the average temperature, when it should only be 46 degrees. It's 80 right now in Des Moines. God dang. Not in Des Moines, Omaha. It should be like 46. I don't even know what to say, folks. Sorry. But here's the other deal we have to deal with too. With those warmer temperatures come higher humidities as well. We're seeing those dew points really rise here across the south as we're seeing that plume of moisture streaming in off the Gulf of Mexico because we have that warm air advection out ahead of that advancing cold front and that storm system that's going to be moving across the upper Midwest, but it's going to be pulling that moisture off of the Gulf of Mexico and off of the Atlantic as well. But with that moisture coming in off of the Gulf, we're going to see those dew points coming up into the 60s. Now, the 60-degree dew points are currently confined across East Texas, Louisiana, and into parts of maybe Arkansas. We're seeing them over Tennessee, those higher dew points down across Mississippi and Alabama. But as we head in tomorrow, I guarantee you these dew points that are in the 60s are going to be way up here by the Ohio Valley and into the upper Midwest. We're going to see those dew points at least in the 50s and approaching the 60s here as far north as Indiana, Ohio, and Illinois. So get ready for those higher dew points as that warm, moist air is steadily streaming your way. But here across the high plains where that air is very dry, we have those dew points very low across the upper Midwest and high plains, and over the Rockies we have that dry air blowing off of the mountains. So a nice dry line is going to set up here over central Oklahoma down through about central and west Texas. We're going to see a nice dry line set up. So that's going to definitely set the stage for some severe weather as that storm system will track across the upper Midwest, across Minnesota and the Dakotas, and into Wyoming is not Wyoming, but Wisconsin. We're going to see that upper level storm system makes its way across the northern tier of the country, but it's going to pull tropical, that moist air off of the Gulf of Mexico, and that colder air is going to blow down out of Canada on the backside of that low. So we're going to see a lot of high winds associated with this storm system because we have that very large pressure gradient associated with the storm as well. Here is our temperature comparison to yesterday. Over 24 hours, we're seeing those temperatures almost 11 degrees warmer than we saw yesterday, all the way from the Canadian border, all the way down to the Mexican border and the Gulf of Mexico, and across the east, we're seeing those temperatures very much warmer, as much as 10 degrees warmer than yesterday across the east, but it's much colder across the west because of that storm system. Is bringing a lot of snow through parts of the northern Rockies and the Cascades and the Sierra Nevada, and we're seeing some rain and snow down here across the southern plains and the southern Rockies and the deserts as well. Here is your winds across the country. We're seeing those high winds here across the Rockies in the west and the western plains. We're seeing those winds in excess of 40 miles per hour out here, especially across the southern plains over western Oklahoma, Kansas, North Texas, New Mexico, eastern Colorado here. We're seeing those very high winds because that storm, that dry line setting up out there across the high plains down across Oklahoma. It then extends down through Texas, down through to Mexico. We have that dry line, and we have a pressure gradient from our storm coming out of the Rockies, and we have the retreating high pressure in the east. So that high pressure is going to give way to that advancing storm system as we have a very transient system, a pattern right now instead of a nice omega block locking things up and keeping us trapped. That's how we would get that snow. But because we have a nice transient pattern right now, we're not able to lock in to the cold air in Canada to cause it to link up with our storm system to bring heavy snow across the upper Midwest and the high plains. And that's one of the reasons why I don't think that we're going to see that, because we don't have that kind of an amplification in the jet stream right now. So here we are as we take a look at your forecast for tomorrow morning. When you get up to go to school, go to work, go to court, whatever you got to do, we're going to be seeing that storm system coming out into the plains. We will see that snow up across this region here, across the upper Midwest and the northern plains, and across the Rockies. But I think that's where the snow will mostly stay confined. We'll see a blast of snow sweep through the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes on Wednesday behind the storm system, but it's not going to accumulate. It's going to be very quick. A fleeting blast of snow is about all you can expect, but we'll see a lot of rain here from the lower Mississippi, the mid-south, through the Ohio Valley and into the Great Lakes and into southern Canada, where we're going to be seeing the heavy rains and thunderstorms. But look for the lack of snow in this region because it's very warm out there. You got temperatures 80 today. You see a lot of 80s and 90s ahead of the storm system. So very warm temperatures. So that's going to make for a lot of rain and thunderstorms. Any cold, it's going to be a lot of cold, but it's going to be on the backside of that low. It's going to be very compact, a very brief shot of cold air. Wednesday will be the coldest day of the week here across the upper Midwest, but it's going to last for one day. Because come Thursday, 50s return, and those temperatures will shoot right back up again. And so for your forecast tomorrow afternoon, that rain is going to slide off to the east there, and those thunderstorms as well across parts of the Ohio Valley and into Ontario, Canada. Look where the snow band is, way up there across northern Minnesota and into Ontario, and it's way up there in Canada. So we're not seeing that connect down here across the U.S., so we won't see much snow across. We might see a tongue of snow, just a glancing blow of a quick shot of snow, but no accumulations is expected. It's just going to be trace amounts on the ground. It's going to be very quick, if anything happens at all as far as snow. But we are going to see a lot of rain and a lot of thunderstorms here across the upper Midwest. So across the where this warm front is, you see this? This is what's called a triple point. So we have a warm front, a cold front, and an included front. So we have three fronts intersecting and an area of low pressure as well. So that's what's called a triple point. That's going to be our trigger. This is going to be the region where we're going to see that potential for a lot of severe weather tomorrow, possibly a rare end of February upper Midwest outbreak. Typically, any severe weather that happens is supposed to be way down here in the south, along the Gulf Coast and the deep south this early in the season. We don't see severe weather up here till May and June. Maybe June and July is when we should start to see severe weather up in the Ohio Valley. So here's a look at the weather for your current watches, and a very busy map. Look at all the colors on here. This is a red flag here. This pink stuff is red flag. This is a high wind advisory. Another high wind warning up here. This is our winter weather advisory across this is our winter storm area across the upper Midwest, across northern parts of Montana, North Dakota, and far northwestern Minnesota. That's where our winter weather will occur. And we have a lot of winter storm, winter weather advisories, and wind warnings. So it's just a hodgepodge of winter weather headlines across the Rockies and down here in the south as well. And then we have our rainfall and flooding risk down across Southern California. All right, so here is our late February storm outlook for you guys. So that big storm is going to mainly hit parts of the upper Midwest. So we're going to see that low pressure moving across the northern Rockies, the high plains, across Minnesota. It's going to go directly across Minnesota, cross over my head, across Wisconsin, and into Canada before heading off towards Greenland out there. but we're going to be seeing that severe weather down here across the upper Midwest. So Wisconsin, so down through Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, and in Ohio, Michigan, and Wisconsin, we're going to see that severe thunderstorms. We could see some thunderstorms here across Minnesota, but I don't think we're going to see any severe. It's possible to get a severe, isolated severe, but I don't think we're going to see any organized severe weather here just yet. But we'll see it across other parts of the upper Midwest. Those organized severe thunderstorms that's going to bring a whole lot of chaos and a lot of madness going on for your Tuesday. So here is a look at what's going out west with the snow. This is where we do have a lot of snow. We have a lot of snow out here across Wyoming. So Jackson, Jackson Hole, Livingston, Montana, Great Falls. And we're seeing snow down through Colorado. We're seeing snow through Utah. We're seeing snow through Idaho. And snow across the Cascades. And down to the Sierra Nevada in California. Here is a look where we're going to see Stevens Pass, Snoqualmie, and White Pass, where we're going to see that snow about 3,000 to 4,000 feet, and we're going to be picking up any of those areas is going to be picking up snow still to come, about another 5 to 8 inches of snow across Washington. Same thing for you folks down in Williamette, and that's going to be down across Oregon, where we're going to still see another potential for another 5 to 8 inches. A few spots might pick up 8 to 12 inches of snow still to come. So still a little bit of snow to deal with out across the Rockies. Here is all of our winter weather headlines across the West. Lots of winter storm warnings across the big mountain ranges and winter weather advisories and a lot of other places. There's a blizzard warning out here somewhere too. So a lot of winter weather across the Rockies. And for your forecast for the remainder of today, that snow here across the Rockies and the northern plains. There is our storm system currently along the U.S.-Canadian border. That's going to drop down a little bit further to the south and roll over Minnesota and Wisconsin. And it's going to bring rain and some severe thunderstorms to the Midwest. And on Tuesday, this is going to be a very busy day tomorrow with those severe thunderstorms from Arkansas, Missouri. We're going to be seeing them in Illinois, Indiana, Michigan as well, and maybe even parts of western Ohio. We're going to see some severe thunderstorms tomorrow. So some damaging winds, large hail, tornadoes, everything associated with severe weather. We're going to see that tomorrow across the upper Midwest. And then on Wednesday, we're going to see some rain and possibly some more severe thunderstorms across the Ohio Valley. But we're going to see rain from the Gulf Coast all the way up through the U.S. on the east to the northeast there, New England, and parts of the Great Lakes, and maybe a touch of snow here across Wisconsin, the upper peninsula of Michigan, and maybe a little bit of snow across western Michigan. Not going to be a whole lot of snow. I'm happy and not happy to report, because I know a lot of people like the snow, but I don't, but a lot of people do. But you won't get a whole lot with this storm system. Don't hold your breath for this one. And as we head into Thursday, that storm system is going to say, bye-bye, America. It was nice visiting you. But it's going to be headed off into the North Atlantic, take any rain, thunderstorms, whatever snow falls with it. But it won't be that much snow. Here is that severe weather outlook for tomorrow. So tomorrow, severe thunderstorms down through Missouri. We have that slight risk further down across. We have that marginal risk down across northern Arkansas through Missouri. There's a slight risk from east central Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, northwestern Ohio, southern Michigan, southeastern Wisconsin. We have that slight risk for severe weather. So we're going to see some scattered severe thunderstorms. We're going to see some damaging hail, some large hail threat. So this is where we can see 2-inch plus size hail. 2-inch potential for very large hail across the upper Midwest, especially over Illinois, Indiana, and Michigan. gonna get beat the hell out of tomorrow by some hail. And a tornado threat is also gonna be possible across the upper Midwest. But I think the biggest threat is gonna be stupidly heavy rain, gusty winds, and hail. The tornado threat, I think, will be the weakest threat. I mean, at least the flash flooding won't be. And we have a potential here. We're going to be looking at a map that's not lined up right, but this is our damaging winds. So we're going to see damaging winds all over the upper Midwest, from Missouri through Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin. So damaging winds. And we're going to see a possibility of flash flooding. So some excessive rainfall could lead to flash flooding, but there's only about a 5% chance for flash flooding with that. And then here is our rainfall estimates that we expect. So we're going to be looking at about a half inch or less of rain for a lot of folks. Some folks, if you're in the Ohio Valley, is where we can see that 1 to 2 inches. But about an inch if you are across the Mid-South through Kentucky, Tennessee, West Virginia, parts of Ohio, and Detroit, Michigan, Indiana as well. We're going to see that potential for 1 inch. A burst of snow behind the cold front will not accumulate, so we will not see accumulating snow. So the snow will be hit. It's going to be quick hitting, very quick hitting, if any snow falls at all. Here is your snowfall forecast for tomorrow. All right, so a lot of us is going to see less than an inch. The only fools that might see a 1 to 3 is going to be northern Michigan over the Butte and into the Upper Peninsula, Marquette, Traverse, and maybe upstate New York. Places like Syracuse, Burlington, Vermont, and maybe Maine might see the potential for 1 to 3. Most of us is going to get the shaft. Minneapolis, we're going to get the shaft. We see less than an inch if we see anything at all. But it is going to rain tomorrow. I know that much. It's going to rain. Here is those warmer temperatures that I was talking about. Monday is ridiculously warm. Tuesday, temperatures beginning to fall a little bit. But we're still going to be ridiculously warm across the east. We're going to see it warm. The warmth moves further to the east on Wednesday, but it begins to cool off in the nation's midsection. We're going to see those temperatures drop. It's going to be the coldest day of the week for a lot of us, but we're going to see temperatures in the 30s on Wednesday, but 50 is going to return on Thursday. So, potential for record highs this week. We definitely saw a record high today in Minneapolis with that 63 for a high. But look at down here in Texas, all the way throughout the Midwest and the plains. Record highs all over the place today through Wednesday, and we're going to see record warm lows as well through Wednesday. That is your weather forecast. My name is Mr. G. I just got done with my work day before I did your weather forecast video. I'm hungry. I need a snack. And so we're going to bring this to a close. Thank you for watching. Leave your likes, comments. Feel free to subscribe. And I will see you guys all tomorrow evening. Bye-bye.